Hi everyone, welcome back to our critical reading class. And today we are going to talk about information literacy in digital era and how to navigate it. I really think that this one is important because these days we are flooded with lots of information, not just from our newspaper or TV, but also from various social media. Because even YouTube and blogs that you usually read and also social media that you usually use, they have ads, right? That actually will redirect you to certain things that you may be interested in based on your research, based on your search, your daily search. Because internet nowadays have this aggregator that they use in order to track our internet consumption, let's just say it like that. Jadi menurut saya ini penting untuk kalian tahu karena kita kan dibombardir dengan berbagai macam informasi ya di era digital sekarang ini, bukannya cuma dari TV, radio, dan juga newspaper. Jadi kayak koran, kalau kalian memang baca koran, or kalian mungkin bacanya online, dan juga tergantung dari sosial media yang kalian pakai, entah Twitter atau Instagram, or Facebook, WhatsApp, karena kita kan juga bagi-bagi berita dan juga informasi melalui WhatsApp ya, dan juga Line, Kakao Page, if you have them. Dan ini semua karena namanya juga digital era ya, and most of us use Google. Nah, kita kan semua pakai Google ya. Dia itu kan punya kayak semacam agregator yang tracking history kita di internet. Oke. Jadi kan kita mau buka apa aja di internet itu kan kita tahu ya. Dan dia kan bakalan memberikan kita suggestion from ads. Kayak kalau misalnya kita itu suka banget kayak baca-baca tentang astronomi, nanti yang berita-beritanya kita begitu kita membuka Google itu bakalan ketemunya kayak astronomi. Terus ada juga kalau kita suka baca berita tentang pendidikan, kita bakal dikasih juga tentang pendidikan. Kalau kita suka about fashion, then we will have like certain trends that celebrity currently buy, or tentang apa aja brand-brand yang bagus untuk in 2022, etc. So, ya, kira-kira seperti itu. Maka dari itu, because of that, usually, karena kan kebanyakan ya beritanya, we will only read the headlines, right? The title. And probably if we're really interested, we're going to read like the first sentence or the first paragraph if we are interested in the title. And if we aren't interested in what the rest of the article is going to say from the first paragraph that we read, then we will continue to read it until the end probably. But if we are not interested, just from the title, we're not going to read the rest of it, right? And this causes misinformation and disinformation because newspaper, blogs, and etc. likes to create like hype title that that creates misinformation or disinformation for us who didn't read the rest of the news because we just read the title and the first paragraph. We actually don't know what the news or article or blog or whatever that we are reading or the video is trying to say to us. Okay, that's why in order to fix or like try to decrease this problem, I think it is important for us to know about it. And first, we are going to talk about how we think. Jadinya kita akan berbicara tentang bagaimana kita itu, pikiran kita meresap informasi. How do our brain soak up information? Why this one not okay? Now, how active is the information consumer? Intentional information acquisition and incidental information acquisition. So there are two types of information acquisition. Jadi itu kalau misalnya kita itu mau mendapatkan informasi ya, ada dua macam. Intentional information and incidental information. Jadi intentional information itu kalau kita emang nyari informasi itu karena perlu. Okay, because we need it for, and mostly this is because our work, because of our lessons, not because of our interest. Jadi kebanyakan tuh bukannya berdasarkan dari our interest, but because of our needs, ya, tanggung jawab gitu maksudnya ya, karena memang harus most of the time. But if we are very interested in something, like we want to know about certain topic or how to play certain video games, we're going to still intentionally search this information, right? Tapi kalau misalnya in general, in daily life, we're going to mostly be terpapar gitu ya with incidental information. Jadinya kita itu bakalan bertemu dengan, we're going to meet with more incidental information than intentional information acquisition. Incidental information acquisition happen because misalnya, for example, we just search for something on the internet and then suddenly something pop up from the ads or suggestion from Google or from YouTube or from Twitter and whatever. And if we are interested when we are reading the title, we're probably going to click that. Or if not, we're going to just swipe it, right? Make it go away, press the X button, and etc. Or if we just sit on cafeteria, for example, we're having our lunch, we're just talking with our friends about nothing, and then someone who sat on the table, like next to us, or in front of us, or at the back, they talking loudly about certain topic, and we listen because they are too loud. And that's also included in incidental information. Jadi kalau misalnya kita itu cuma lagi makan atau lagi lewat, udah gitu ada orang yang ngomongin tentang sesuatu, tapi suara itu keras, kan kita mau nggak mau kita dengar gitu ya. Itu juga termasuk incidental information. Like we are on our motorbike or on our car, and then we go to some place, we want to make photocopy maybe, and then the person who owned the photocopier has TV, and the TV broadcast some news about certain accident happened in Jakarta or in Lampung Barat or something. And that's another incidental information acquisition because we don't search for it. It just happened to be there. Itu kan juga sesuatu yang kita tidak mencari gitu kan. And this is the examples of the axis of importance of information separation. Jadi maksudnya itu kayak kalau misalnya information, we have certain it's based on our interests basically. It's very subjective because for one person this information might not be interesting to them, so it's very low, right, in its importance, but for others it may be higher importance. For example, here is highly important low preparation, cancer treatment, local water issue. Well, again, it's that's why it's subjective, right? Not objective. Because if the person actually has cancer, they need to research, right? Like it's not going to be low preparation, it's going to be high preparation. It's going to be moved from here to here, right? But if, for example, like highly important, high preparation child IEP meeting, it's like student parent conference, jadinya pertemuan orang tua murid dengan guru gitu ya. If you are a teacher or you are a parent, it's going to be highly important, high preparation. But if you are not, it's going to be like in highly important low preparation. Probably if you are the parent, if the parent wants to like try to, because the parents are probably more busy with work, that's why they unintentionally make low preparation, even though it's highly important. It could be like in here too. You know what I'm saying? And because you are students in undergraduate or master's or PhD level, and research article is very important because of that. But if you're not at school, research article is not going to be important. Probably it's going to be not important high preparation, you know. And here, baseball statistic, good novel to give as a gift. Okay. Yeah. It's not really important, right? It's going to be important, like baseball statistic, if you are a baseball player, or you are going to have like, if you are a pro or you will have a competition, it's going to be important, right? But if you are not going to, you're just interested in it, it's going to be not important, low preparation, probably. Good novel to give as a gift. If you are, I saw that there are so many like people who recommended books on TikTok and people who recommended books on YouTube, YouTuber, TikToker, right? It's going to probably be important for them. Not probably, it's going to be important for them, right? Because they need to read certain novels, like dozens of them, and then choose which one they think is it's better for a gift, because it's their income, right? That's why it's going to be important, like highly important, high preparation. Again, as you can see, it all depends on the person, so it's very subjective. This is the access preparation, and this is the access for importance. And then, besides thinking, we have talked about how people think, right? Try to separate information in their mind, and how information goes into their mind by accidental or incidental information's acquisition here. And now we are going to talk about the information sources. And I don't know if you have been told by other lecturers, or your teacher from your high school have told to you about information sources, which one is better and which one is not really better for as a source. And that's why I'm going to talk to you about it a little bit. So, because we are in an academia, karena kan kita ada di akademia ya, that's why it is important for us to not use Wikipedia, okay? Even though, but for daily use, Wikipedia is usually for cross-check or fact-checks, right? Because it's so comprehensive. But because everyone can edit it, that's why it's not really considered as good for research writing. That's the point. Because it can contain misinformation, like information that's probably not going to be correct. Because of that, it is better to not use it for research. That's it. That's the point. Even though we are going to actually mostly use Wikipedia when we are searching for certain information daily. I know it sounds, it's not really a good thing, but that's the rules of common sense. And unless something drastic happens, it's going to be there. It's going to be there, really. Jadi kalau misalnya ini information sources, saya kurang tahu apakah kalian sudah pernah dibicarakan juga sama dosen-dosen yang lain atau guru kalian waktu dulu. Jadi untuk ya seperti saya sudah jabarkan tadi ya, Wikipedia itu tidak dapat digunakan dalam research writing karena itu bisa diedit oleh banyak orang, dan juga karena hal itu mungkin dapat mengandung informasi yang kurang tepat atau tidak benar. Karena semua orang bisa edit, walaupun kita menggunakannya sehari-hari. Dan itu tidak akan berubah. Rules ini tidak akan berubah sampai ada sesuatu yang drastik terjadi. Well, we'll see. Probably one of you are going to do something. And then for like sources of information that are considerably called as most trustworthy are .org, .gov, and .edu. That's it. That's it. It's very narrow, right? But that's the thing. If you want to be, unless you want to argue with your supervisor later and have a good reason for using com or Wikipedia, then you need to stick with ORG, Gov, and EDU for websites. Because for journal articles and books, there are other like sources like Eric JSTOR, and then Online Relay Library, ProQuest, etc. There's so many. And for daily use that you are going to mostly use anyway, it's going to be blogs, newspaper, magazine, commercial product sites, professional amateur videos, YouTube, etc. That's the thing. And for this, because we're going to try to analyze, right? That's the point of critical reading, to try to analyze our reading, to not just take the information in one single reading text, but also try to cross-check everything and try to question the things that we found from the article that makes it less valid, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so what is the difference between disinformation and misinformation? Apparently, it's a little bit different when I search it on the Oxford Language Online Dictionary. Disinformation, mostly propaganda from government or big companies. And the examples that I could find are about, because these are the most hottest topic yet, and I don't know when we are going to be, well, without this topic, are COVID is fake. And because it's a thing, it's still a thing, you know, there are still people that think COVID is fake, despite so many people already had them, like infected by it, and certain vaccine can harm us, even though there are like a research about vaccines and different like types, not different types, different brands of vaccines that says otherwise. So yeah. And for misinformation, it was mostly information given to deceive audience. So like someone is dead when they are in fact still alive. There are so many news about that, right? And someone is cheating on their partner when in reality both of them cheat each other. I'm not going to say who this famous person is, but because I doubt both of them, and I was proven right. And how do we and because there are so many of these, we need to do these steps in order to prevent them from clogging our mind. Jadi, because we, again, like I have spoke to you about at the beginning of this video, that when we read or when we watch something, mostly because this is about news, media, and information, right? We are going to just read the title. And if we are interested, we're going to read the first paragraph. If we are not interested, we're not going to read until the end of whatever article or news it is. That's why there are so many disinformation and misinformation, and especially because when we read, this is another problem. So when we read something and we think, for example, we read the news, even though we actually only read the title, maybe the first paragraph. The end. We think it's important or interesting, we share it on our social media. So everyone will be more aware. We are helping, right? But we're not actually, because we only read a very small information on something. We unintentionally, maybe because of sharing through social media and other people who read our social media, if we have like thousands of like followers or subscribers or whatever, we unintentionally add to this disinformation and misinformation. Jadi begini, kenapa sih ada yang namanya itu disinformation and misinformation ini? Adalah karena misalnya kita baca berita, right? Tapi kita bacanya cuma title-nya aja yang sangat provokatif itu. Udah gitu, because it's interesting, we read the first paragraph. Jadi kita baca paragraf pertamanya aja. Terus, kita nggak baca lagi sampai habis. Atau mungkin kita baca ujungnya aja gitu kan. Intinya apa sih ujungnya aja gitu. Padahal mungkin nggak seperti itu kalau misalnya kita baca dalam keseluruhannya. Karena kan memang for journalists, they want us to read. That's why they use such a flowery language for their titles to make it interesting, right? While maybe the content of the article is actually not the same as the title. You know what I mean? There are so many. When you read newspapers, there are so many. You will be able to like kalian pasti nyambung kayak pasti ingat ada beberapa news yang seperti itu, right? That's why then we think that it is important. Ya kan kita berpikir kalau misalnya, oh ini informasinya bagus nih, kayaknya harus disebarin deh gitu kan. We're trying to help. Jadi kita itu bermaksudnya baik. Kita share lah di sosial media. Mungkin karena waktu kita lihat nggak banyak yang like, atau belum banyak yang baca, belum ada yang bereaksi gitu kan. Because there are so many reactions and comments and whatever in this internet era, and so we share it. And our followers, jadi kalau misalnya kita punya followernya berapa ribu gitu ya, terus kalau misalnya influencer share something yang the followernya itu udah ada millions, ya kan, udah berapa juta gitu. Unintentionally, bukan bermaksud kok, tapi jadinya itu kan membuat penyebaran informasi yang tidak benar dengan lebih cepat gitu kan. Jadi menambah banyak kerancuan informasi. That is why we need to do this. Okay. Let's zoom. Okay. So look for previous work. Take advantage of fact-checking sites. These are the fact-checking sites that you can check out by yourself later. Okay? Jadi kalau misalnya kita itu kan ada penulis nih. Nah, kita bisa cross-check gitu loh. We try to find out what are the articles that they have written, or if they are a producer, misalnya produksi film gitu ya, what are the films that they have produced before, or if they are influencer, what are the topics that they covered. Jadinya kan kayak kalau misalnya entah dia itu mau jurnalis kayak, atau dia itu produser, atau dia itu influencer, apa sih yang mereka cover biasanya? Topik seperti apa yang mereka sampaikan biasanya? And if you can find from LinkedIn ID, before they become a journalist, do they have like certain what do we call it, educational background for it, gitu kan? Kayak maksudnya itu dia itu edukasinya itu apa sih, gitu kan? Apa yang, what is it that makes him or her write these kind of topics, gitu. And then see, go upstreams or go to the original source and evaluate it. Like, if news is very famous, kalau misalnya newsnya itu terkenal banget ya, there will be so many sources, right? From media, YouTube, Twitter, and then TV, television, and probably several news media are going to cover it. Try to find the first one. Jadinya kayak original source kan. Jadi coba kalau misalnya ada suatu berita, itu cari siapa duluan yang beritain. Biar tahu gitu. Sebenarnya yang dikatakan pertama kali itu apa. And then try to read laterally, see, take advantage of multiple tabs, because even in your handphone, you can open multiple tabs now, right? Jadi setelah kalian menemukan original source-nya, you try to compare with what other people from other sources say about the same media, about the same topic, about the same news. That is how you will be able to try to form your own opinion about it and decrease the misinformation. Jadinya itu kan karena kalian sudah tahu gitu ya, kira-kira sebenarnya itu, oh yang benernya itu kayak gini loh. Jadi kalian juga bisa melihat yang mana yang memilah sendiri gitu. You will be able to be more critical in trying to, and also careful when you read or try to take in certain information. Begitu kira-kira. Then, stop share first. Share screen. Share. It's this one, right? Okay, please wait a moment. Not this one. Okay, this one. Wait. Share. Okay. The tournament. The tournament derives from France and means to reroute or hijacked. In many examples, the tournament offers a means to disrupt an existing narrative that might be constructed in the media to create a new message. This message may offer additional truths on the subject, rethink the messages creator initially intended to send, or even unveil a new way of thinking about something. Jadi itu maksudnya saya itu biar kalian itu nanti bisa melihat from all of the thoughts that this content creator or writers trying to tell you, you will be able to create a new message about it. You are going to be able to form a new opinion about it. And these messages may offer additional truth. Jadi kan karena kan semua pemikiran orang kan lain, and your thought is also going to be different, right? You may be going to be able to contribute to the subject because you rethought the message. Jadinya itu kan karena kalian berpikir ulang kan tentang message-nya itu. Jadinya kalian juga akan berpikir dari sudut pandang yang baru begitu. You will have a new perspective in thinking. Okay, and that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening until the end, and I'm going to give you the reading for later that you need to read. And also on Friday, we are going to try to practice on how to practice the steps that I have shown you here. This one. Look for previous work, go upstream, read laterally. We're going to try to do these steps when we are reading the news. And first, I'm going to give you the topic. But for the second one, we are going to try to leave it up to you. What topic that you want to discuss and what you want to know more about. Okay? What you're interested in. Okay, thank you so much for today and see you on Friday.